Ladies and gentlemen of the living and the dead, my name is Arias and I am your friendly neighborhood Copernico Master who fears all things horror. Happy Wednesday! Happy Wednesday! Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We are halfway through the week. Yippee! I'm so ready for this week to be over, guys. So I've been that busy. I just wanted to be the week. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. How are we doing? How's one's day been going? So I'm looking for my screen. In case you're wondering why I'm looking downwards, I can't find my screen. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. My God. What am I even doing? Hello, CGN fan. Hello. I hope that the week has been going well for you. It has. Surely nothing has happened. I just want the week to end because I want it to be the weekend. Because, I don't know, I have plans for the weekend. And you've always been really kind to me. Thank you for always showing up. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. Thank you. I'm sort of sleepy, guys. Not gonna lie. Hasn't even been a long day, but I don't know. I've been sleeping all day. I left the house 7:30. I got to my office at 8:30, and by 9 o'clock I was already sleepy. And then at 10:30 I was even sleepier, and I had to go get a matcha latte at 12. And then I was incredibly sleepy beside having my matcha latte. So I just been sleepy all day. I can't explain it. I got 7 hours of sleep last night. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. I'm just sleepy today. But maybe I'll wake up. Maybe I'll wake up once I start playing the game. Once we get some objection under our belt. Hello, Andre likes comment. What's up? How are you? Thank you for comment. All right. Okay. So. We are back with Ace Attorney Investigations. We are probably at the end of the fourth case of the first half. The first Ace Attorney Investigations game. Because this one combined both of them together into one. We have cleared... we have cleared Gumshoe of any wrongdoing. For now. And we've established that the two victims did not kill themselves. And now we are trying to find out exactly who killed Case Papa. And I'm pretty sure it's the defense lawyer, Callisto. But I don't know how she did it. I don't have any proof. So, we're back to investigating some more. And we're back in the defendant lobby, number 1, where we found the dead body, but the dead bodies have since been removed. Oh, never mind. So defendant lobby number 2 is where the crime took place. Defendant lobby number 1 is where Callisto and Detective Bad was supposed to be at the time of the murder. So that's where we're at. And that's where we're going. Hopefully we can finish the case today. Hopefully we can wrap this up today and then move on to the final case of the first half. Alright, so we're in defendant lobby number 1. There's an incredibly overpowering sweet scent in the room. Move my mic a little bit. Hang on. Hold, please. I'm so prepared, guys. I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay. It smells like flowers. Alright, here's Baby K, because Baby K is really cute. She calls Detective Bad Uncle Bad. Is that Detective Bad and K over there? Looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. Found a bottle of perfume. That looks like a perfume bottle to me. I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that? Yeah. You baby, you don't need to smell like perfume. Since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it. Oh, Kay's gonna hang on to the perfume bottle. Those two seem to get along really well. Got something else for you. What does he have? Oh, he's gonna give a Swiss roll to Kay. That's so sweet. Thank you, Uncle Bat. Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy. Yeah, Detective Gumshoe. Gummy is... Oh. He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble, and then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Oh, don't cry, Kay! No, he didn't kill Daddy. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, don't cry. Faraday will be sad if he saw you crying. Yeah, she's not crying. She's doing great. Okay. It's the mister from before and the lady. She is a lady. Did you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? I'm not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Oh, Franziska's so nice to her. Franziska's so nice to her. Oh, actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant, so I'm related to the investigation. She doesn't want to go home. I mean, she would have to go by herself. I think that's kind of sad. Yeah, well, Detective Bad agrees. Franziska's mad because we got yelled at earlier. We got scolded earlier. People are free to investigate things outside the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. You got a problem with that? Wow, Detective Bad. He's so bad. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm curious to what Miss Yu is looking into. I'm gonna go look somewhere else now. Okay. Alright, bye, Kay. What is it, Kay? What is it? No gummy release in the back. I mean it. So please find the real bad guy. Okay, okay, Kay. Of course. I won't forgive whoever did this, but in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony evidence, there's no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. Wandered off while I was pondering. Yeah, kids do that. You know, you stop paying attention to them for 1 second and disappear. Alright, it's time for us to investigate. This television is the same model as the one in defendant lobby number 2. So the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies. 2 rooms are basically the same, huh? Okay. Oh. May not look like much, but I find that ordering a table like this ones are very useful. Thanks, Edgeworth. I'm glad you find tables to be useful. Wait, what? You want to whip it so they replace it? Franziska, why? Why? What's this? Incredibly strong scented herbal tea. I fear that more than being relaxing, the set may make one a bit hating instead. You put in a special request for that. No wonder she's so violent, Franziska! She's been drinking this stuff the whole time. Okay. Neither woman should be allowed to comment on this particular topic. Yeah, you two are as violent as each other. I like that! Edgeworth never sees Franziska as a child, even though she obviously is. You see down to the courthouse courtyard from here. It's an optical illusion. Really supposed to be postmodern design. I don't know what they're looking at, but it's something outside that I cannot see. Oh, this window is also open. The air conditioning is working just fine this room, so why did they open the window? I wonder. The expensive paint is ill-suited to be hanging on the wall of this room. Desperate low-paid detective might make off with this someday. You never know. Wait, what? Franziska, that's so mean. Wait, we're not done yet. Alright, let's see what Detective Bad has to say. Yeah, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns me. Oh. This Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. You don't have time to waste. All right, Detective Fat, I'll try to make this quick. No promises, though. There's something I'd like to confirm with you once again. Have anything to say? But you should. Keep that in mind, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? I sure thought he was gonna die when he entered. Is that ultra strong perfume you wear? She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window. That smell's still here. Perfume, huh? Okay. Damn, how strong is this perfume if it's still permeating just by spilling it? It's gonna have quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand. Said it's a famous brand from overseas. It's crazy. It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff. You forced one of those bottles on me? Oh. It was very much more expensive a refined perfume. Okay, Francisca. I've seen this how you just happen to have a spare. Suppose I'll take it. And I'm to hold on to it. All right. I shall hang on to misuse Angel perfume. Given to Bad by You. Same perfume as the one spelled in lobby number 1. Alright. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigate. Alright. Oh, never mind. Andrew still has questions. Okay, we're gonna talk to him about the time during recess. You're in this room the entire recess. Confirming his alibi. Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here. Alright. Earlier you stated that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations? Yes, I am. Okay. Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you. Oh, Francis got hit him where it hurts! Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident, and as I recall, Detective Bat was the lead detective on the case. Wonder if the reason for her to stay isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case. Ooh! Double hit! Tag team. Yes, I know how to read. Thank you. I also know that today's trial involving the Kodopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday and the KG8 incident. Alright, Edgeworth is in interrogation mode. You already know that much? I guess it'd be alright to tell you. Alright, let's get more information, like KG8 incident. Let's see what he has to say. Well, I asked you quite a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story. I mean, yes, I figure that much. Other than the people who are directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. Ooh, story time! Honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Alright, here we go. Faraday, you and I, as you already know, we 3 were involved in the KG8 incident. Faraday and I were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. Okay, case involving one of the Amano group secretaries, who was the victim of the previous case that we played, Z Butler. The trial was just a front. Oh, a facade? But the case became tainted? What does that mean? Oh, because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano group's tie to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. What became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring, so he was a scapegoat. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. Boss man of the Amano group? You can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. Wow. You'll learn, Edward. You'll learn. Alright, Edward is not buying it right now, but in about 5 years' time, he'll change his tune. Suppose it would be quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Koshin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday... Yeah, how could you have let him go, Mr. Faraday? Well, it's probably really hard. If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. Oh, Mr. Detective Bad wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, CC, I was supposed to protect them both. Yes, you did mention that as well. Okay. But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap. What kind of a trap? The holes in this jacket are a testament to that. Oh, wait, he got shot at! You shot at that many times in one gunfight? Oh no. Only about half of these are from that case, but still, that's crazy. The reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG8 incident. Oh, he's so noir. We couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu. Now let's talk about Callisto a bit. It was on the day the verdict of the KGA incident was handed down, was it not? Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but... saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. Well, it's true. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face. I probably would have done the same. She certainly had a lot of self-control to stop it just to slap. You know what, Francisca, facts. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I suppose not. Aw. You said it herself. She never wanted to see either of us ever again. But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KJ incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? I mean, isn't Ernest Amano hella rich? So probably? It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand, and she appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. The client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them. He was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rao this time for the same reason. I mean, she did say that. She did say that. It's part of her method. She did say that. Okay, we're having a little flashback moment, but I'm not gonna read this all again. I'm not gonna read this all again. We've seen this all before. But I can't make it go any faster even though I'm cooking. Franziska does not sympathize with her, even though she understands. Alright, just like us, you felt they should have hit the limit of what the law could do. And that's all. Oh, well, now they're arguing about the law. One day, you know what I mean. Oh, I mean, Detective Bat is not wrong. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. Alright, let's talk about his relation to Faraday. They seem to be very close before Faraday died. So what's your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Aww! Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together. But not in the Yatagata suitcase. The conversation with this guy goes a little slow because he talks kind of slow. My one thing to say to you, no one knew more about the Yatagata than me and Faraday. And that's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rao was not the real Yatagata, which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, prove or disprove the accusation, but I guess I won't be doing that either. Since there's more to that statement than meets the eye, perhaps a bit more digging to the Yatagata is what's necessary. Alright, let's talk about this phantom thief that Kay is supposedly nowadays. Claim to know much about the Yatagata. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you should be looking for right now is proof of murder's intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking about the Yatagata. The KGA incident and the second KGA incident, both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, a witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there's one point in which they differ. And that is the presence or absence of the great Yatagata. Mr. Rao claimed to be the Yatagata, however, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagata. And during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd? No, he has a point. Edgeworth has a point. I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagata were both killed at the same time. And so in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagata. If it will help you solve this case. Alright, Mr. Detective Bad is gonna tell us the reason why they've never called the Yatagata. Oh, it's the Senate outburst. Alright. Franziska with me instead of Detective Bad. Again. There are three main reasons why the Yatagata will always be one step ahead. First, they always know the exact location of the target object. Second, they always know exactly how to disarm the security system. And third, don't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. Those are the Yatagata's special traits. Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief! Facts, Franziska, facts. And never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention. And would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. Oh, do I sense a level of respect here? Well, I think we know that Faraday was probably Yatagata, given that Kay has inherited the title. I don't quite know how it plays into the story. I'm not done talking yet. Alright, let's keep going. What's different about this time wasn't that evidence related to the smuggling. Was the evidence related to the smuggling was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, Yatagarasu. They sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. That's true, they have mentioned that before. Not this time! Evidence this time? He speaks so slowly and I can't make it go faster. Was something only Farron and I and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure that it was Yatagarasu who sent it? Okay, it was sent with a special card that only Yatagarasu uses. That's how I can be so sure. What if it's a fake? What if it's a copy? Okay. Whenever Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. I'm just saying that doesn't look like it's very difficult to replicate. When we questioned Rao about what was sent along with the white card, Rao had no idea what it was. That just means Rao didn't send the evidence. It doesn't mean that the Yatagarasu did. It's how the Taliban knew that Mr. Rao was a phony. Alright. We're wrapping up this conversation. The bailiff is here. What is it? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom. Alright. Alright, let's go get our evidence. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive. Oh. I see. I see. Alright, we're now in the courtroom because the judge is gonna transfer the evidence over to us now. So let's go. Hello, Judge. Why are you sad? It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he made false assumptions. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. And there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. Your Honor, come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. The evidence. Oh, never mind. The judge is like not paying attention to us at all. Yes, can I please have the evidence now, sir? The defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we? Alright, where's Callisto? Please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation. Alright. Thank you, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This would be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. Alright, here we go. I placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. Alright, can I go now? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sir, thank you, thank you. I'm going now. Let's go, let's go. Alright, let's see what's here. So this is the evidence related to today's Kodopian Embassy trial for Mr. Faraday's bag. Alright, let's take a look. Let's take a look, see, I'm ready. I'm ready. Alright. Oh, Franziska wants to look at the evidence from the embassy murder, too. She still doesn't really understand what today's trial is about. I see. I see. Alright, here we go. So we have the knife, the gun, and envelope. And I'm guessing that's Mr. Faraday's organizer? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside the evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help with the investigation. Oh. Detective Bad say that? Interesting. Oh, okay. Alright, let's start with this giant envelope. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Okay. On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect thoroughly questioned because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Alright, Franziska. Perhaps he was, but the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence he had. Mr. Rao was caught in an act on film by a security camera. Alright, and then that's when he said Yatakarasu was the reason that he did it. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. The surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. He clearly identified Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. I see. Watched the episode or two of Conan that had a similar situation. I know how Callisto did it. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life. I'm guessing by the time Callisto and Detective Bad met up, both Mr. Faraday and Mackerel were already dead. And the gunshot that Detective Bad heard was from this videotape. I've seen a Detective Conan episode that had the same method of crime, so I'm fairly certain now. Let's keep going. This gun was originally used to kill a Kadobian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. Man, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Alright, let's move on. Let's take a look at the organizer. Mr. Faraday's organizer appears he was in the habit of using it. It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here. I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. I mean, the evidence was pretty damning. The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatakarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatakarasu key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end. What's the Yatakarasu's key? I'm so curious. What is this key? I don't see a key. Alright, so there's a picture stuck between these pages here. Oh. Appears to be a key. So this is the Yatakarasu key that he's referring to. A rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. Okay. Could this be the Yatakarasu key Mr. Faraday mentioned as organizer? Huh. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling was sent to the police and not the media. This part is going a little slow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge fan of a very long replay of a very long conversation. It's a little slow. I kind of want to get to the knife now. Mr. Faraday must be trying to keep the secret key safe. As the prosecutor on both the Yatakarasu and smuggling ring case, that's to be expected. Alright, a photo of the key the Yatakaru sent is a rather unusual shape. Wait. Huh. The handle of the key looks suspiciously like the handle of the knife, but backwards. Oh. I've seen this before too. It's a knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. So the key is in actuality a knife, I'm guessing. It's never crossed your mind that you use your riding car for the wrong purpose. What is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer because this is the key. I'm pretty sure. The weapon that was used to kill the Cadovian embassy staff member was the gun. If that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rao. But he would have been searched. Every person who entered the courthouse doors checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. How do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse? I already know, Franziska. I already know. I've seen this episode before. You think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is the fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there's one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that's missing. In order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence. Franziska, I'm trying to get there, okay? Yes, I know the answer, just let me prove it. One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. It was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. Okay, let's present the key.
Take that!
This Yatagaros' key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. Not making any sense. Franziska, can you not see the similarities between the two? Yeah, look a little closer, okay? Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? The knife, exactly! Both the Yatagaros' key in the photo and the murderous knife had this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagaros' key, the only object we found in the crime scene was the knife. They're one and the same! One and the same, Franziska. Yes. It's not impossible. You watch more Conan, okay? Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Alright, here we go. Let's examine the knife in more detail. Alright, so let's zoom in a bit. The weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday, the handle and the blade itself both have beautiful design work into them. Even a flower-shaped design is both section. Let's see. Oh. What is this? Oh! Changed to a key to think there was such a trick to this thing. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the Yatagaros stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now. Alright. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. If that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday, meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. Great thief Yatakara soup. But Faraday is the Yatakara soup, so he had to have known about it. Isn't that one possible scenario? Not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rao was not the Yatakara soup. Besides, as Detective Bat said earlier, he didn't know about the calling card, which makes him a fake. Alright. Guess the one who knows about the trick is someone else, and that person's the real Yatakara soup. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. Now data updated in my organizer. We're short one piece of evidence. Oh, where's the tape? Piece that's missing is still in this video that was playing in court. How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? The video is showing the moment in which Mr. Rao committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Alright. Yes! I'm finished with the evidence, Your Honor. But yeah, we're missing the tape. We're missing the tape. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial is surveillance videos among the evidence you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene? Yeah. It would be in the TV. It would appear there for me to find the answer I seek. I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Alright, I know how Callisto did this. I just have to prove it. Who's that? It's a young... what is his name? Asian Lang. It's a baby Asian Lang. That's Detective Bad, but who is he with? I've never seen that officer before. He doesn't look like... He's dressed like any of our officers. Find it? No, not yet. I've looked everywhere. Well, then please continue with the search. Understood. Alright. Hi! Yeah, I'm the one running the show. Oh. It's telling me I shouldn't be allowed at the crime scene. Yeah, who do you think you are, bro? And he leaves! Alright, bye, dude! Alright, we gotta go look at the TV! Come on, Miles! Ever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Alright, let's go take a look at the TV, Miles. I know where the tape is. Oh, never mind. We're gonna start to talk to Detective Bad first. Looks like you're paying attention after all. His background music is so cool. I have eyes in the back of my head. Oh, so the mirror is for... Oh, the mirror is so he could check behind him. Smart. Smart. Yeah, who is that dude, Detective Bad? The guy came here from the Republic of Zangfa to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch. See? He has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe. Even if he is rude! Alright. What was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? Earlier, the little girl was poking around on lobby number 1 as well. Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you. I highly doubt it has nothing to do with me. Fine, this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity. Draw what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. Alright, first, let's take a look at the TV, because I think the tape is in the TV. Alright, Franziska think this TV's small, but Gumshoe said it's big. Alright, let's talk to Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say. Alright. Alright, what should we should show him some stuff, I think. I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That helped enough, don't you think? Alright, let's ask him about the time of the murder. I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime. Oh, he doesn't want to answer? Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about? You should, where it's possible. He doesn't know about this. Alright, let's show him! Let's show him the key. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu key are one and the same? Oh, he says it's impossible. But I didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu key to prove that Mr. Ra was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct? Guess so. So did you know or did you not know? However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife. Neither one of us knew that. If neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How do we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday, I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life, so he protected with his life. Please testify for me once more. It doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened, nothing will change. Alright, let's see if we can talk to him about the time of the murder again. I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. Okay. This is the last time I'm going to do this. Alright. Gonna find the truth behind this case. I gotta look at something real quick. I need a quick refresher. Gumshoe heard one gunshot. Okay. Detective Bad heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start. Okay. But he didn't hear the balloon popping. Okay, well here we go. Let's listen to Detective Bad's testimony about his movements. I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed down to the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2. Wait, so Gumshoe didn't hear the gunshot. Wait, what? I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can. Alright. Let's start with some pressing like we always do. Surprised about lobby number 1 talking with Miss Yu. Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together. That's all. Okay. Alright, so they were talking about some trivial things. Let's press that. I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu. Trivial stuff, it was nothing important. Yeah, it's for me to decide. Oh, we're playing the silence game. Alright. I suppose that is for him to decide. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start. Press that a little bit. Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? And you hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. The gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder. That would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. Okay. And you hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
Hold it!
You didn't hear the balloon pop. Honestly, don't remember hearing anything else. It's possible you were so involved in your conversation that you missed something. Been a detective for a long time, and even if I were involved in something, I've got quite the habit of keeping tabs on everything that goes on around me. If there had been some other strange sound, you can be sure I would have heard it. Was this detective? That's probably very likely. Okay. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed in the hallway together. Let's press that a tiny bit. Because we clearly heard the sound of a gunshot. Okay, I'm guessing I'm supposed to present the balloon later. You knew it came from somewhere nearby. How did you know it was a gunshot? In my line of work, you heard enough of them to know. Alright. That makes sense. Given the circumstances, the only person I could think of whose life would have been in danger was Faraday. That's why I ran out into the hallway right away and headed for where he was. Alright, so we're gonna press the fact that Gumshoe was goofing around. That the Gumshoe was there in the hallway? When I saw Gumshoe was after I heard the gunshot. Having seen him, that then didn't change the fact that he still could have done the deed. But that means he didn't hear it then. Alright, let's ask him about the balloon. Because why didn't he hear the balloon if he... Okay, let's ask him about, I'm guessing, the balloon. So let's present that. Wow, condescending shark already, Edgeworth. Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding. So you knew about that girl's balloon? I was sitting with her up in the gallery during the recess. Just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Yes, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot. On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1. If you were in lobby number 1 at the time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. Oh. Oh, he just says so. What does that mean? What does that mean? Alright, he has information for us. Since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked. Oh, so the rooms are soundproof. Doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. It's supposed to be soundproof, so how did you hear the gunshot? That means that Scarface's testimony is completely useless. The room's a soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of struggle. So why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon pop. But then how come you heard the gunshot? The only reason he heard the gunshot is because Callisto wanted him to hear the gunshot. It's not possible to hear the sound of the balloon popping in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, the person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet, Detective Gumshoe claimed to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bat, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your words. If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? Guess I'm more out of it than Faraday's murder than I had thought. Which means what exactly? Boils down to this, there must be a reason as to how Detective Bat and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. Alright, it's the window. It's the window. Yes, it's the perfume! Way too noisy. If you turn the TV all the way up and both windows are open, you'd hear the gunshot. And the videotape is in the TV. Alright. Okay, hang on. Let's start with the TV and the missing evidence. Because I'm pretty sure the tape is in the TV and the gunshot everyone heard was from the TV. But I guess they want to start with these two? Okay. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows, and yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Incorporeal things can move freely between these barred open windows, such as sound. Okay. So I'm going to match the open window with the very loud television. Now then, what else besides sound can go in both in and out of an open bar window? Sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the window were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. And if we combine that with the missing evidence, then we know where the gunshot sound came from. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rao killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was playing during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence back for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. The gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place. I've already figured it out, Franziska. Alright. Take a look at the TV. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Alright, here we go. Okay. It's a video player and there seems to be a videotape inside. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. Could it not be the missing surveillance tape? Would it be alright with you if I verify the contents of this video? Alright, knock myself out! Say less! Damn. You know this game is old because they're using VHS. Alright, this should be about right. Let's... It's the footage of Mr. Rail shooting the embassy staff member. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. Alright, put that down, our organizer. Appears that Detective Bat has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we figured out the truth behind this double murder. Yes, I have! Watch for Detective Conan, FRANZISKA. All I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detective Bat and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Show what the gunshot Detective Bat and Gumshoe heard was, through where they heard it from. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking granny. Okay. Take a look at the window. Just as with the spilled perfume in lobby number 1, if the window were open, that piece of evidence sound would also dissipate out. Okay, so let's use the deuce here, I think. Let's present the tape at the window. I think that's what he's getting at. I'm not really clear. Okay, if the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we are in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser. Or how does seem to be well designed for such a thing. However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bat, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the window in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open, so naturally the people in these locations could hear it. But then why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. We need to change the time of death, well, people's perception of the time of death. Believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact when the crime took place. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes and use the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. Alright, here we go! That's why the tape was left running. Yes, the gunshot you heard was from this video. Which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Completed our investigation! Let's see where it goes from here. And the bailiff is back. What's up? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something. Alright. Understood. Please tell her that would be a ride over. Our Detective Bat wants to come along too. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. Alright! To the courtroom we go! Finally! We have spent very little time in the courtroom, despite the game being called Ace Attorney. So I guess we're about to spend some time in the courtroom for once. September 10th, 6:15 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 3. Ah, this music again. So nostalgic. Kay! Hello, Kay! Kay, what are you doing here? Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. Yeah, we've already found what you were looking for. Never mind. Yeah, keep looking, okay? Okay, bye, Kay. If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Oh, you're more pathetic than I thought. Detective Bat is actually a good person. It's actually a good person. I've been waiting for you. You have? I've been waiting for you too, Callisto. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. Alright. I think she uses humor to cover up when she's uncomfortable to make herself some time. I think we more than solved this case already. We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Why even Detective Bad is here? I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out. Is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. Oh, thank you so much. That will be helpful later. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe. We'll see about that. That's all you have? That's all there is to my conclusion in this case. Yeah, I beg to differ. In a trial, there's always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of the court in this case, don't you think? Alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. My logic is correct and I've already won. All I have to do now is to prove it by showing who the real killer is. Alright. I don't think this is gonna be easy, but we're gonna do it. Misuse argument. Everyone says the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated. I also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2, which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Except, that only holds true if the time of death is when everyone thinks it is. There's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve. Gotcha! So we press, and press, and press. Alright. Press her statement where she says that everyone has an alibi for the time of the supposed gunshot. You know, you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. But that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off. And the problem is there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking. Which means that I should focus on throwing out whatever trump card she's withholding. Alright, let's keep going. Let's press some more. Areas around the crime scene have already been thoroughly investigated. She's actually done most of the work for us, which is great. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. Even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene lobby number 2 has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. Alright. They all looked at the garden as well. Callisto is doing a fabulous job setting herself up in about 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm gonna just let her go. There weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case. Alright. Alright, let's press her statement where there is no escape route.
Hold it!
Be absolutely positive there are no possible routes of escape. Of course, I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is the courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there were an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. Okay, I see. And Franziska whipped us because we're trying to figure out what's going on. Alright, let's press her statement that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. I may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? Yeah, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. I see. Not about to let her get a rise on me with such a flippant statement. Suppose we really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready, all that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject. There was a witness for you. There's your mentor who gave you an alibi. As for little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. Alright, so Callisto has given us an alibi, which is fantastic. That means she can't try to pin the crime onto us. By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibi before Detective Gumshoe assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived at the crime scene. As we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. You're awfully hung up on the time of the gunshot, aren't you, Callisto? Is it because you're the one that set it up? Hello, Colorful Marty, one of my favorite Ace Attorney cases. Well, hopefully we're about to solve it. I think I've already figured out how she did it. I just need to be able to prove it in court, where we are right now. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bat heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? The gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our... Oh, he's objecting already. Last shot we heard in lobby, no one cared to explain how that could have been fabricated. Alright, I think this is where we present the surveillance tape. Here we go. Yeah, it's the tape. I found it. It's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rao the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. Yes, I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. The sound we heard was the gunshot on the video. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. Played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on, and since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe. Transfer on television doesn't amount to much. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Kalmar already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Yes, of course, we know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse room. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until a little while ago. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You know about it. If the room's a soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day. And? What do you mean that's an end of story? You shouldn't have been able to hear any gunshot. No one should have known until right before recess they went in to check the room. But it's not. How should I explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from a soundproof room? The window was open. In both rooms too, even though AC was working. There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2, and it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was open. Probably just coincident that they were both open at the same time? For what reason?
Objection!
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be open. She spilled the perfume on purpose.
Take that!
Miss Callisto Yu, I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. Yes, Franziska, don't want me. Just have my back, okay? Oh, she messed up her lipstick. Yes, I'm serious. Franziska! Franziska! Who else could it be? I don't understand her motive just yet, but of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. You still feel like laughing now? Of course I do. Yeah? Is that why you're so busy with your eyeliner? Although I never thought things would spiral into this, but I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess it means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? Alright, here we go! Miss Yu's rebuttal. You argue that the window was open, however you have no proof it was I who did that. Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this, especially with logic as full of holes as yours. This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second or the truth will blow away. Now is the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test. Alright, let's go through her rebuttal. Alright, so press the statement where she says that we have no proof it was her who did that, even though I know how she did it. You might guess. Sounds as though she has the room to maneuver, which means even if we're able to lift prints, it only showed that it was someone else. But why that someone else was supposed to open the window? That's simple logic. Why don't I try presenting that piece of evidence? I have nothing to lose. Alright, here we go. Are we presenting it? We don't need to run a fingerprint analysis. Let's continue with my testimony. Alright. Well, let's press everything and then let's see what Ezra has to say to all of her comments. You have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Tell me more. Sure, you proved that the tape was there at the scene of the crime. However, that doesn't prove that it was actually used in set crime. Fortunately for you, Miss Yu, the fact that the tape was there at the crime scene in itself is very important. But the very existence of that tape at the crime scene, it proves the possibility that the whole when of the crime could have been fabricated. And that possibility alone renders all alibis and witness reports irrelevant. Basically means that we will need to re-examine every person's movements again. Whether the tape was used in the crime or not, that we can re-evaluate afterward. So in conclusion, you're admitting that you can't prove that it was at this point. Alright. I'm gonna press the statement where she says she's shocked that we're going around accusing people of murder like this. I don't think anything's gonna come out of it, but we're gonna do it anyways. Even if you're shocked, this is no concern to me. I do things my own way. You see that you're not laughing for a change. Because I'm shocked. Shouldn't go around accusing people. Alright. Alright, we press the comment where she says our reasoning has a full of holes. At this point in time is what I meant to say. No matter how full of holes my logic may be right now, if I plug them one at a time, I will ultimately make my way to the truth. Yes, yes. Don't worry, Franziska. I remember. Here we go. Alright. So, it is time for us to present the perfume that she, quote-unquote, accidentally spilled a whole bottle of.
Objection!
Condescending shoulder shrug! I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? No, I'm not into wearing this kind of perfume. No, I wouldn't wear it. Yeah, it's Franziska's, and she received it from Detective Bat, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bat. And now you see the Easter all up, so what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bat. He also knew that if he spilled it, he would naturally move to open the window. I've already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After he opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck? You know, there's a lot of coincidences going around here. This makes it seem like none of them are coincidences at all.
Objection!
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. Yes, Detective Bad, you were used. Monsieur, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1 when you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you. Miss you? Ooh, her lipstick got messed up again. You accused me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up the absurd case once and for all. Alright, here we go. Got more coming. Why it couldn't have been Callisto used. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top, but I suppose forgery of evidence to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. Oh, well, that's a little low. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Testimony is flawless. No matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape from me. And if I'm lacking information, I'll just draw it out of her. Alright, so that means we gotta press some more. I'm ready. Alright, so let's press her about the spilled bottle of perfume.
Hold it!
I think I already explained the significance of that earlier. You only confirmed that I did spill some perfume. But that's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on the simple spill? Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. I don't think you can do that, but you could try. I believe that you are the true culprit in this case. I think she laughs when she's nervous. Alright, let's press the statement about forgery of evidence.
Hold it!
Yeah, or Franziska will sue you for defamation. Maybe more like spreading gossip, although your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding fuel to the fire. Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get to you. Detective Bad is so calm! Alright. Let's press the statement that it simply could not have been her who killed Mr. Faraday. And why exactly could you not have killed him? Yeah, I'm a little impatient. Forgive me. You laugh a little too much for my liking.
Objection!
Oh, Franziska! Franziska's mad. Miles, if you're gonna lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy. Calm down, Franziska. Alright, let's press her final statement then. Her statement where she didn't know where the knife that was used to kill him come from.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. If she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. We're trying to lay a trap, Franziska. See if she falls into it. I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing. But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. Look, why didn't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarusu had sent, so she knew about the key. Unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. You mean trap me? I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I'm wondering if you might have penned what you just said to your testimony. Alright. Let's press the statement that she appended, which is there was a key in his bad but we can't kill anyone.
Hold it!
Miss Yo, just like to confirm something with you one more time. I don't need to ask you about that, because he's in the killer. It's like the number of wrinkles on your forehead having... Because how does she know about the key if no one else knew about it? According to Detective Bad, only him and Faraday knew about the key. You sure it was the you were sure it was the Yatagaros' key, correct? Yes, I'm sure. Which is why I'm completely baffled as to where the knife could have come from. I think I've just spotted the road to a perfect victory. Alright, here we go. It appears they have revealed your true identity. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go! Let's present the key! What is this ominous feeling that I can't shake? Well, sometimes the truth is a horrible, horrible thing, Edgeworth, as you will soon find out. In a few years' time. Alright, here we go. Let's present the key. Or the knife. At her statement.
Objection!
Finger wag! Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yatagaros has sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife, which means that was what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, was both the Yatagaros key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the Yatagaros' key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the key. Oh, alright, she's calmed down. Let's see what she has to say. She's doing her full face of makeup. So I haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all you know. Alright, we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? Alright, she's bringing in Bon Karma again. This piece of evidence is more than real. Who knew there was such a trick to this thing? Are you satisfied now? But of course you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagaros key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something that the Yatagaros sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Heard it from Mr. Faraday? Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me? Didn't he write down that nobody knew? No matter how many try, he's wrong. You see. I also have evidence I can use to prove. I should be able to prove that he was the one. The sound of his handgun going over the recorder super clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagaros. No matter how many may try, if I present English to clear everything up. That's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. He didn't tell me about how the key actually transformed. What you're saying is simply not possible. Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. But within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife. I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know? Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication? Unfortunately, that is also impossible because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Just laughing again. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? Probably just realized the flaw in her logic and isn't actually in a panic over it. No, I think something else is coming. That's not something we need to concern ourselves with. Suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of this knife. Do you now? Alright. Alright, here we go. This is it. The moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagara's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Which would have been... the Yatagarasu himself.
Take that!
There's only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself. Saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yatagarasu? Miss Yu, you used Mr. Rel to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals, why would you do something like that? She's not responding. She's still laughing. Oh, she's going! Oh, her laughter's going into maniac mode. Oh damn. Alright, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill is even greater than when I sneak into someplace. You killed Faraday? Oh no. Oh no, Detective Bad wants answers. Callisto Yu. That's not my real name. Because my real identity, yes, the great thief Yatagarasu. What if she's not even a sister? What if she is not even CCU's sister? What if CCU doesn't even have a sister? I wonder. My real identity is the great Yatagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan to a complete mess. But that doesn't explain how Kay is the Yatagarasu now. The only logical conclusion is that Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu. So how can it be her? Threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caved to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. Didn't you say that you despise criminals? But do I really? You've forgotten about the KG8 incident too? Maybe. If she even is the real Callisto Yu. So then was your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu key as evidence, and that he would bring with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk to Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagara's key just like that. He never noticed I had changed the key into a knife inside the plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. I should kill him. I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rowell as well. I believe I mentioned why we were placing Detective Gunshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they'd kill each other. The trick with the surveillance tape. As I hadn't actually planned to use the gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remember the existence of that surveillance tape, which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with the bullet. How could you betray a client? If you want to talk about who was the client of who's first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of Oh! She paid him to kill dead man? What? You ordered a headshot? That's crazy. I did not see this coming. You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had dead man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination? That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring. Which means she might not even be Cece's sister! How could this? You don't mean you're working with Manny Koshin too, or do you? Maybe not. Guess you'll never know. Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but he's just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right. Yatagarasu is just another killer. Quiet you. You can run from the law, but you never escape it. Just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yatagarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. How did she get the gun in? You really are too naive. You even handed the Yatagarasu key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. He was your real target? And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? She did. She actually did. You may regret what comes of your negligence. Huh? She alright? Hi, Kay. Alright, Detective Bad went after her. And so did Kay. Are you alright, Franziska? She's perfectly fine. Alright, her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? It's a gunshot. Oh no, is Kay okay? Is Kay okay? I'm sorry. September 10th, 7 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Yeah, you're right, Detective Bad. I heard a gunshot. I'm okay, just got another hole in my jacket. You may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean Mr. Edgeworth. He's calling us by our names! Oh, we have proven ourselves! Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt? Yeah. Franziska's absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know, she just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, we got recognized by Detective Bad! Oh, my hard work. Oh, my hard work was worth it. Yes, sir! Detective Bat, sir. I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. Heard about what happened. From Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective! Oh, Detective Bat, you're such a good guy! Now don't you ever lose the detective spirit, okay? Got it, Pops. Oh, they're bonding! I should get back to the investigation. I swear I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Yeah, be careful, Detective Bat, and take care. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run each other again someday. We got recognized! I'm so happy! What is it? Thanks a bunch, pal. You're welcome, Detective Gumshoe. You're the best? I am? Of course I am. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. Oh, the judge is still sad. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have His Honor's testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. What was it that Kay left for me? The proof of their friendship? The Swiss roll!
Take that!
Yeah, it's the Swiss roll. Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. I have no idea how happy this makes me. Oh, Detective Gumshoe! I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. Well, the one Kay saved never reached her father. It would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. He's so happy, it's though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kate to give it to him. That was a good pal. Can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. Gotta thank Kay myself. Where is she? You only noticed just now. Detective Bat left to go search for her earlier, and maybe you should go join him. I'm gonna go help him, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Okay. Sure thing, pal. This is nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous Steve. We should go home to Miles. You have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid you must be going now, Detective. I investigated the next case going real well. Yeah. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. And didn't Dahlia kill herself? Or something? After that, he became... Oh, no, the defense lawyer. Mia Senpai died instead. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I've tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... Damn! So do you remember now? Yes, I remember everything. Okay, it's been a while. I sure grew up a lot. Of course, but thank goodness, I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much. I'm just glad you're alright. So does it all make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently and...
Hold it!
Actually, there's still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. Yeah, I had this question too. The real Yatagarasu was my father. Mr. Faraday? That's what I thought. Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. That's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now. How do you explain this? The way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing. That's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. This little gizmo was used by my father. Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was a really great thief. But that doesn't explain how Callisto knew all this stuff. My father worked really hard to steal the truth, but he was killed. And the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you? Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. The Yatagarasu sends card to embassy. The Yatagarasu send the embassy a calling card? Meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bat told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. What if they're both the Yatagarasu? As soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up. I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father's and Miss Yu's identities backwards? Because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end, and I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Okay. Okay! Okay! Even if you're honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you're plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Who am I supposed to support? Mr. Edgeworth. What I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. So Callisto? I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself, but I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Okay. Okay. Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you. When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid. Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fatal cold day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. You're welcome, Kay. Sure is, Gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. What is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Byron Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagara's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. The end. Alright. Finished another case. Alright. Now we're on the last case of the first half. Turnabout Ablaze, episode 5. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. Turnabout Ablaze. Huh? 2 cards. One of the Black Raven. And one of the White Raven. A country torn in 2. One to the west. And one to the east. I'm guessing they mean Kodopia and Zenfa. Those 2 which will... What again? I wasn't reading. The truth will reveal itself. Huh? Huh? It's the Yatagara's here. You cursed Yatagara's decay. Wait, she set the embassy on fire? 8 hours earlier. Oh, okay. March 14th, 10:17 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. So nice, almost dreamlike to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. And those which were split are made whole again. The truth will reveal itself. Okay, well, here we go. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and a murder at the Gatewaterland theme park. And later that night, a detective dead body welcomed me back to my office, along with the thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. I wonder if the thief is Callisto. How did I manage to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back? Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. Oh no. Good luck jinxing yourself. Kay is here. This is big, I tell you. What's wrong with you? Where's your enthusiasm? I don't have any. And suddenly the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes to mind. What are you talking about, fragile dreams? Let's go. LaFay Yatagarasu isn't going to just find herself, you know. You must know. It's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fate. Unfortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. So I must insist that you be patient on this one, Kay. Are you sure you aren't sleep talking to me right now? About something much more important that I want you to see. And that is... Take a look at this. Alright, it's the same article. On March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. That's quite a bold declaration to send to an embassy. I suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this. The date the card mentions is today. Oh. Gotta hurry, the embassy awaits. I suppose it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating? It's some really special country and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that, where's all your energy? Why am I so lackadaisical today? I feel like this is how Edgeworth is all the time, okay? Yeah, you're too wound up. And then you should get too wound up too. Because this just might be our chance to catch that woman. You mean Miss Yu? A woman who killed Kay's father, Byron Faraday, 7 years ago. I'm wondering if she even is CCU's sister. Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu, and then disappeared from the courtroom. She makes me so mad. The phony, everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public, the target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome. Yeah, the Yatagarasu's card is shown in this article. It looks to me as though it could be genuine. See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person isn't the real deal, but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue that the woman's involved, then nothing is. Oh, she's getting ready. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, out the door you go. Yeah, Edgeworth has to make some preparations, okay? There's something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. It's of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why. I'm busy. No reason at all. Very well, seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, I agree there's some merit to be found in investigating this. Why are they two different colors? March 14th, 5 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis. What? By the light of this night's glorious moon, we are ready to embark on our nightly outing. And this is where our tale begins. All right, Steel Summer and the Pink Princess. What a coincidence! Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy? This is so random! Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. I've got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out. I suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television. I have to say though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. They have two countries sharing the same building. As you say yourself, this place in the countries it houses are very special. Even this theater is special in that it is a neutral zone shared by the two countries. Okay. The Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries. The one that's called the Kingdom of Alabast, right? Kingdom of Alabast? Okay. It would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. The Republic of Bao is sponsored in a Jammin' Ninja stage show. Wait, is this before or after the actor died? Has something for fangirls like me. Wait, what is this country's name again? I don't remember. Republic of Babao and the Kingdom of Alabasta. I'm not gonna remember any of this. Totally gotta see that too. The Jammin' Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end. Now, ever since I first met Scar, I've always had this inkling that what she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja. So anyway, about today's event, what's it called again? The Kingdom of Alabast versus the Republic of Babao Goodwill Jubilee. So many words, I don't know what any of it means. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babao. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature. Oh, so like East and West Germany? And it was called the Principality of Codopia. Oh! Oh, so it used to be, you know, the country of KG8. Principality of Codopia. That is such a long word. Everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I'm alright. Moving on. After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though signs of their past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Oh, that's a butterfly? I see. I thought it was something else. I mean, I didn't know what I thought it was, but I didn't think it was a butterfly. Codopia, huh? The KG8 incident and what was referred to as the second KG8 incident, in which an embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Codopia. In the 7 years that have passed, the country may have split into two. However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card. What could it all mean? What is it, Kay? Oh yeah, I was thinking. What were we talking about again? Anyway, we're talking about the Alabas versus Babel Goodwill Jubilee. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other, but supposedly they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event. If that's the case, then why the versus? For real? So both countries claim to own the real Prima Duck statue, a national treasure to both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal. What if neither of them are? Yeah, do not succumb to your thieving desires, okay, Kay? When it comes to treasure, I can't help myself, you know that. Alright. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell you. Alright. And although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance, I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place. Alright, here we go. Oh, it's Rita. What's her name? Rita? Let's talk to this dude. There's something I can help you with? I was wondering what is beyond these doors. The Babalese embassy is just beyond this door, sir. You have some business with the embassy? Do you require immediate access? No, I was just curious. Anyone, everyone is always welcome in the Republic of Babel. Embassy's in some sort of theme park, okay? Alright. Hi, Rita. Where in Tarnation are they? Come on, Big Scoop. I seem to remember this woman from somewhere, yet my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. That will be best if I left her alone. Yeah. Global Studios. These flowers are sent by Global Studios. That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They have been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio is being remodeled. Mascot there is also getting a facelift too, right? What's its name? You mean Mrs. Monkey? Oh, I remember Mrs. Monkey. That was something that they really have a great memory. Never underestimate my powers of recollection. Alright, here are these flags. The national flag of Republic of Babel is on display here. The crest on it features a butterfly. It lists at least a few off. Yeah, any flags with really chic things on them? Yeah, what do you mean by chic? There aren't really any flags that feature a chic object. Oh, she wanted to steal it? Let's see. Alright. Appears that the child is watching a video from the first season of The Steel Samurai. Go, go, go! Keep on fighting until your last breath! Go, my hero, the Steel Samurai! I believe there's one singing the theme song. Oh, I see. There's a flat panel, a tape deck, and a row of Steel Samurai videos on this table. I suppose so visitors can watch it in episode 2 at their leisure. Alright. Yeah, so though I never thought I would see it reach this level of popularity, and what they decided to call on the Steel Samurai for an event like this, like they intended to cut the two countries apart with the samurai sword instead. And we're here hang on. And we're here reporting live from the Theatre Neutralis. As you can see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say. Okay, that was good. Let's do one more run through. I sense that she didn't hear a single word I just said. Who you? This is the perfect angle. Yo, my image travel across the wave road into every TV set around the globe. Whoa. Oh, isn't he? This is the guy that plays the jamming ninja, right? The one that ended up, you know, bye-bye. There are pamphlets about the two embassies here on this table. So it looks weird to me. Country split into two a few years back, and they've shared the building and its grounds 50-50 ever since. Because they don't have the money to build two separate. Do you think that's not the reason why? I suppose I'll just help myself to one of these. Alright, we hang on to the embassy guide. Oh! Where's all the hubbub? All the hubbub? Hubbub? Of all the words you could have used, Edgeworth. It's the Steel Samurai, and he's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him. May I speak with you for a second? It's the Steel Samurai! Doesn't say anything. I don't say anything. What are you glaring at him for? Please excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before. To Mr. Edgeworth Steel Samurai Daddy. Ward a man of Neo Old Tokyo. Looks like he's writing something down for you. To Edgeworth from Steel Samurai Daddy. Married man of Neo Old Tokyo. An autograph! An autograph, pretty cool that you got one. What does that mean, Edgeworth? Steel Samurai autograph received. Autograph with the sketch of his face and weapon. Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you. Alright, and now the Steel Samurai... And now the Steel Samurai will proceed to enter the Kingdom of Alabast. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the two countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our home country as well. Off to spread goodwill to the world. He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he? Cue camera. In just a few seconds, the Jamming Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jamming Ninja will enter the Republic of Babao. He is set to meet with the Ambassador of Babao at that time. Gotta get back to our seats. Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas. The show will change your mind. Alright, Kay's making us watch the Jamming Ninja's awesome playing. Alright, here we go. Huh? Can listen to that a ninja marked for death lullaby song all day? His superb play and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice, now that's the Jamming Ninja's greatest weapon. I see. This piece of Jamming Ninja's merchandise over there, I've got to have them. I especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine Princess Misola wears in her hair. Anyway. Yes, anyway. Yes, anyway. Yes. It doesn't seem like that the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely, it was simply a prank. Well, Kay's not convinced. But I thought you said that the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards. Yeah, I did, but... But that card she sent was a genuine fake calling card. A genuine fake? Well, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now? You've got a problem? Huh? The Yatagarasu has been spotted in Alabast. Wait, what? I just had to show yourself. Wait, Kay! I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter. Kay! A country's embassy is considered to be part of the country itself. You don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country. I'm going to enter through Baba and climb over the wall. Okay. Case ought to conduct. Case ought to conduct some. Wait, what? March 14th, 6:12 p.m. open air stage. Okay, where are you? And tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Huh? It's too big for us to handle. Looks like you have to came to Babao too. Okay, you better be alright wherever you are. March 14th, 6:45 p.m. about Babali's Embassy Secretariat's office. Kosher wasn't me. Sheena.
Hold it!
Oh, Manny Koshin's dead. Okay, are you alright? Do I look alright to you? Now can you do something about this woman? Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe! What is the meaning of this? Well, sir, it's, It wasn't me. He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fate Yatakata suit. I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person at the open air stage. A suspicious person? Why is suspicious such a hard word to say? A suspicious person. A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought that they must be the fake Yatakara suit. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. But I just know that person is the one who did it. There's no reason for you to be this loud. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lang's secretary. Sheena, I believe your name is correct. If you're making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that also correct? Oh, she's not answering. I don't need to answer. You're merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority. I mean, she's not wrong. That here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction, the end. Seeing as how this building is sitting on our slope, we can investigate wherever we like. Gumshoe, that is not how an embassy works! Yeah, unfortunately, detective, embassies are a different matter. This office is considered to be a part of the Republic of Bapel, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and Babalese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. What a long ass word. No, extraterritorial, not extraterrestrial. Basically, our country's law do not apply inside the embassy of another country. That's what was agreed to by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place, which means we can do little here in this situation. Please lead this matter, interpose Hannah, go home. Huh? In that case, allow me to join your investigation. Miss Von Karma. Hi, Franziska! Hi, Franziska! Ambassador Polino, I truly appreciate you allowing me to join the investigation. It's really nothing. Oh, he looks slimy AF! Manny was my secretariat, so of course I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly. And this stuff. Well, I never imagined I'd meet you here of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to
hold it.
Ambassador Polino. I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case, Miss Mon Karma's assistant. Yes, I'm gonna be Franziska's assistant for Kay. Please, I implore you, Ambassador Polino. Very well, I'll be counting on the two of you, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. He goes along with everything. I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Franziska's assistant, I can't participate in this investigation. There you go again, running in the mouth with the aloof expression on your face. Franziska, please. I don't know what you're planning quite yet, but at least I do know one thing, that you're now my subordinate. Oh, here comes the whipping. Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you should you have a brain lapse. Of course, I'll keep that in mind. If you're done playing games, right, let's begin the investigation. Alright, here we go. Babali's Embassy Secretariat's office. By the way, Detective, supposed a bit late to be asking you why are you here. Better late than never, I guess. I was placed on guard duty for the Babali's Embassy today. And why are police guarding an embassy? On account of the card they got from the Yatagata suit. They called us up and asked for our help, sir. Because we've been searching for the Yatagata suit these past 7 years, it was more or less a mutually beneficial arrangement. Yeah, except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be. Yeah. Looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again! We look forward to your next salary negotiation, though it's out of my hands. Sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even instant noodles anymore. Gumshoe, you really need to get better at your job. Alright, here we go. Let's start with this. Because this is the national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat. What is a Secretariat? Let's see. I don't even know what a Secretariat is. Secretariat. What? Secretariat. Wait, what? Is it not a word? Oh! Secretariat experts are trusted in the highest stakes legal risk and regulatory matters around the world. Oh, so it's just a, I guess, a very fancy way of saying carry on the day-to-day functions of the embassy. Got it! Okay! I need you to know that. I need you to know that.
Hold it!
There's a possibility that it is related to the murder, wouldn't you agree? You can force them to let us investigate later if we find some solid proof. I suppose I don't have a choice. Alright. This must be one of the Prima Ducks statues Kay was talking about earlier. Just me, or does this man look just like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins. A little, I suppose. Alright, Babel's Prima Duck statue data jotted down in my organizer. Alright, let's see what else is here. Why is this clock perfectly fine? Looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but has fallen victim to the fire. It's this one clock that I made by myself with a timer on it managed on auto. Yeah, I don't know what that has in relation to the case, but okay. Alright, what's here? These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia. It's really strange, isn't it? Why are there so many American souvenirs, sir? Perhaps the Babalese are studying American culture and our tourism industry? Their plans to make the Babalese tourism industry surely flourish, and they will need to observe and study other countries' methods, I suppose. Speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier. He said if I bring these with me to Babal, I can trade them in for a few buffets. Yeah, how do you expect to travel to Babal? Hoa is connected by the ocean. And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I swim all the way to Babel if I have to. I see. What is this? Nice. Okay, so I think one is missing. Though the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. I guess the handles all got burned off by the fire. So even the knives fell victim to the fire. Ambassador Polino, are these knives yours? Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babel. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. I can't believe the Babalese ones have been reduced to this state. Ornamental knives, huh? A small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Polino, what is this notch here for? The feature of these knives where you can freely exchange the handles on them, so that we can change how they look to fit the situation. So these knives were constructed so that the handle could be easily removed. So maybe they didn't burn off. Maybe the handles were removed. Believe it is the symbol of the Republic of Babel. Okay. The drawing this big on the wall of an embassy definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Okay. Gumshoe's going off about his reason of becoming a detective. Yeah, we're gonna try and prove that it wasn't you. It'd be wise of you to give up while you can. Yeah, I don't think so. Kay's in line in my investigation will prove that to be true. Can't allow this to continue this way. I must prove her innocence. What is this? The ceiling fan must have fallen from the ceiling. Ceiling fan? What is one of those two? Exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, it's a fan that is installed on one ceiling. Another semicolon Ezra! Please, just use the full stop like the rest of us. If I had one of these in my hand, I'd better go dizzy for staring at it. Yeah, we close our eyes when we sleep. Alright. Oh. What's this? A small personal safe. This was Mr. Koshin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. It's locked. It appears we won't be able to open it without the key. Alright, so we need a key for that. What's this? This fireplace really gives this place a mansion-like quality. Something about Santa? Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting its investigation beyond this point. Some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly stated don't you dare let anyone near the site. If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. Oh, probably Agent Lane. You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? Alright, let's see what else is here. Oh, oops, I pressed the wrong button. So our victim was the secretariat of this embassy. Manny Koshin. I heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable. The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his back. We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. So Mr. Koshin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room? Okay. First things first, let's take a look at the Yatagaros' key. Oops. There appears to be something in his pocket. This key can't be. Isn't this the Yatagaros' key that was stolen 7 years ago? 7 years ago? Yeah! You mean that case where I was framed, sir? Yes, it's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago, which was then stolen by Callisto Yu. Mr. Friday was killed with this key, sir. I thought he was killed with a knife. Scruffy! At the very least, try to remember the details of the crime. You're a suspect, and for real! Franziska, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been privy to such knowledge. suppose I just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is... it turns into a knife. The Takaru's key data jotted down my organizer. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? Looks like two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. It's a bunch of stars, if you ask me. And those six-sided stars, just like the police mark on our IDs. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is why the Babylonis Embassy Secretariat is holding this. While we don't know how Mr. Koshin came to possess this key, we do know that this was stolen by the Yatakarasu from the Kodopian Embassy. Mr. Faraday had written that fact down his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Kodopia. Why didn't you ask Ambassador Polino about what he knows? Supposedly he was a candidate to be the next Kodopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. I see. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at the knife. Is this knife a murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound. I suppose this means that we know that the crime was committed with this knife. The knife's got some real fancy ornamentation going on. The handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. It's also interchangeable. Knife data jotted down in my organizer. Okay. This man, where do I know him from? Manny Koshin. Alright, I don't think there's anything else here that we can look at. Well, just make sure with the sweep. Knife wound is obviously what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Okay, Sheena's saying it is. Okay, I think we've examined everything we can on the dead body. Let's get out of there. I think there are no more evidence to be looked at, but I'm just double checking. Alright, let's talk to Ambassador Polino. Burn things get burned, they become burnt things. Alright. Can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is. Ambassador Polino, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police, that and only that. I ask you to cooperate not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Koshin's as well. Oh, you sobered up. You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating. Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these. I'm sorry, but it would be against our principles to accept the bribe. These are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babel. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babel. Now I remember the Republic of Babel is known for its feverish tourism industry. I wonder if it's supposed to be like Thailand. I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased Manny Koshin. He was my secretary in the embassy's secretariat, charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country. He was in charge of everything: accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures. Printing what? Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., etc., We have a printing press here at our embassy. Let's see. I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression I've met him before. Yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident. The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. I remember this real well. So you, Mr. Koshin, is the same man as the one in that case. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from the case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovation. It really is a shame he has such a bright future ahead of him. Alright, let's talk about the renovations. What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations? We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy thinking we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us. Alright, let's ask about Kodopia. Ambassador Paleno, I was wondering if I may ask you about Kodopia. Alright, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like it to ask you about this key. What about this key? I found it sticking out of Mr. Koshin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy, is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly. That's not all about this key, it's also capable of changing to a knife. Oh, so it's a butterfly knife! I get it now. Possibly the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key. In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Kodopia.
Hold it!
How'd you come to that conclusion? As both Kodopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still in Kodopia. I see. Ambassador Polino, this key was stolen from the Kodopian embassy 7 years ago. By Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Goddess. Oh, why are you so sweaty all of a sudden, Polino? You were not aware that Miss Mew had broken into this embassy at that time? I'm sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babel became its own independent nation. But if Manny was still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then. Mr. Koshin and Miss Mew knew each other 7 years ago. That doesn't explain why I found the Yatagara's key here in the present. Okay. What if? What if the key can open the safe? Oh! My jelly was right. We know for a fact that Yatagara's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Koshin's pocket, which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office. Alright, let's go try it out. It appeared I was correct. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket, it literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of truth. What do we have here? There's nothing inside. Do you think the Yatagara's been made off with everything? No, detective, I believe all we need is a closer look. Alright. I see 2 pieces of paper! There's not a scrap paper inside. Alright, I want to take a look at the scraps of paper at the bottom of the safe. What is this? It looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir. I don't think it's ripped. Yeah, it's more like it's stuck. I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a safe before. Detective, I think you may have it backwards. Not the paper that's stained. It's the safe. It looks a little shallow, don't you think? The secret to the safe is it has 2 compartments. Even just eyeballing it, you can see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I say that there is an extra bit of space behind the back wall of the safe. In other words, the safe has a second compartment. Alright. However, if you watch this correct, there's a second compartment. How do we go about opening the door to it then? Seems there's no other lock or keyhole inside. Actually, there is one more spot of interest to me on this safe. I believe that spot is the keyhole. That's where this knife goes! Safe and it's locked. I think this is where the knife goes.
Eureka!
Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisca? It does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. Just for keeping the door shut.
Hold it!
More. Well, let's try to find out. The person who used the safe, Mr. Kosher, made sure the safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to be hidden in half? Does it look so obvious, like a keyhole, that even the average person could figure it out? Alright, he's saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment? Precisely what I'm saying. It would make sense now why the key turns into a knife. The Yatagaro's key is still open. Sorry, but this is no joke. There's a reason why it turns into a knife. What are you talking about? It's not an entirely different shape. But it's the same shape as the blade. Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagaro's key was originally made to open Mr. Koshin's safe in the Kodopian embassy. We confirmed that as fact by opening the door to his safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see? Yeah, it matches the keyhole. When viewed head on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. Alright. See, because it looks like a knife was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago, we fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Let's try it! Then it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Alright, let's open it up! These items, it's a bunch of funny shaped things against they're a piece of art. Move, Scruffy! I didn't think I was in the way. These pieces of art, they're identical to ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. Figured as much. These are the treasures the section of the safe was to hide from view. I believe more thorough examination is required. Alright, I'm very curious about this. This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier and wonder what it's about. Alright, let's take a look. Mr. Coach's name is written here on the last page. Oh, but it's missing a page. Okay. These are pieces of stolen art from around the world. How much they're worth. Yeah, don't touch anything, Detective Gumshoe. Yeah. What if they break? So just weird as shit one of the pieces of art just now. Build this sort of trick into one safe is really something. 2 compartments. I wonder if Mr. Koshu was just paranoid or if he has secrets of that great value. Huh. Okay, I think that's everything here, but let's just make sure. I think the document is what we're truly after, but to be safe, we'll make sure that we've looked at everything. And there's nothing left unchecked. Okay, we looked at the document. Look at the door. Nothing else. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Let's try and merge the motif on the knife handle and the butterfly and the bell and see what comes from that. Okay, oh my god. The designs on the knife's handle greatly resembles the special bubbly species of butterfly. Plus it says right here, this knife is property of the Republic of Babel. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room. Here. Okay. So we're repeating the 3 knives. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to look at in here. There's nothing to deduce. Alright, let's talk to Franziska for a bit and see if she has any. What is it, Franziska? Let me tell you something. You're currently my subordinate. Okay. Yes, I will speak to you with respect. He's having a good time. Doesn't change the fact that you're still under me. Alright. I thought Franziska was flying around the world in pursuit of a smuggling case, so why is she here at this embassy? So ask her about the murder. I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess. I see. Yeah, the Yatagarasu was due to appear at the embassy as well. But the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there, although there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came up to the Babalese embassy. So Agent Lang is here. Okay. Well, it makes sense because Sheena's here. Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as a bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. Oh. Let's talk about the Yatagarasu. So the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu? Yeah. You remember her, don't you, Franziska? That girl is the daughter of the victim in the case, Mr. Faraday. She's that feisty little girl. It has me on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who took her father's life. I see. How so? The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. A breach of contract? If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight. For real. But I do wonder though if Callisto really is the... Okay. Well, let's put together the dirtiest secret with Franziska's return and see if that brings us anywhere. Okay. Steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu was out to steal is in this very room? Franziska, you're in pursuit of some dirty underhand dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Babalese embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation. I think I just might need to ask Franziska about her smuggling case in more depth. Alright, let's talk to Franziska some more. About smuggling this time. Franziska, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you are here right now is related to that. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off. This accounting document? It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Cordovia. To which means that somewhere in the countries of Elebas and Babel is the head, one pulling the string behind the entire smuggling ring. Let's see. As Franziska for you, she's amazing, pursuing this case with all she has. Adobe and paper document jotted down in my organizer. So Franziska got page 2, and page 1 and 3 was left in the safe. Okay. So this has to be a reason. Take a good look at these documents, Franziska. It says there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. It's not possible that your page is taken from this set of 3. Certainly looks that way. But putting a multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you have now found what you were looking for. And with this, it has become crystal clear that Mr. Koshin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Babalese ink. Babalese ink? Babalese ink is a special product of the Republic of Babel. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported. And that reason is... That's classified on the need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Koshin. But he's the only person that knows how to open the safe. Space was an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making the ideal condition under which to run a smuggling operation. But it's so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my whip of justice. What if he's being framed? What if he's holding on the document for someone else? Even if he is dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. Franziska, you must know that Manny Koshin was a suspect in the KG-8 incident. On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. Alright, completing the investigation. Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that the girl is the only one it could be. Under arrest for the murder of Manny Koshin. I know you didn't do it, Kay. I know you didn't do it. We'll figure it out. Figure it out. Alright, Sheena is reading Kay her rights. I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes. What is that supposed to mean? I mean, where were you in our last case? I believe I told you that Care Faraday is not the culprit of this crime. Very well, I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are. Alright, here we go! We're fighting with Sheena now. Why arrest Kay? Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babalese embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into the embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu, and more importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body. That's it? That's all you have? Your reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she's the Yatagarasu? Exactly, but it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu. I was only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu. Imposter or not, it matters not. Yatagarasu is the Yatagarasu. Alright, then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Mr. Manny Koshin. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Alright, so we're gonna press the statement where she confirms that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babalese embassy. It may have confirmed it, but are you telling me that no one could catch the thief? If so, you're basically admitting that the Yatagarasu committed murder or looted us. Of course, I chased after the Yatagarasu that entered the Babalese embassy right away, and that is also why I'm making this arrest right now. Because at the end of my lone chase, there was only this girl. Any case is what I believe happened tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into the embassy.
Hold it!
The confusion caused by the fire? Are you saying that the Yatagarasu was not the arsonist who started the fire? A suspicious person in a lone coat was spotted in the area. Officers in the area claim to have seen that person start the fire. Sounds like we have a phantom in our midst. In a way, he could be considered a phantom with the way he randomly appears. Okay. Press a statement about Kei claiming to be the Yatagarasu. Just because she calls herself that doesn't prove that she's a killer. No, but it does give her a motive. Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them. So she killed Mr. Koshin for the key. Her logic is very sound, and I expect nothing less of Agent Lin's secretary. However, that statement just now didn't sound right. It might just be the opening I need.
Hold it!
So you're claiming that Kei knew that a foreign country's embassy had such documents. It stated in the calling card that Yatagarasu was out to steal a dirty secret, which means that the goal tonight was to steal those smuggling documents. Your words are meaningless. You're truly innocent, and let's see some proof. You'll leave it to me? Alright, thanks. Yatagarasu's goal, huh? You can claim she's innocent, but you can't change the facts I've already outlined. And most important, other than her, there was no one else here with the body. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit more. I really don't think that being the first to discover the body makes her the killer by default. No, but if you saw the self-purported Yatagarasu standing in front of the body, wouldn't you get a little suspicious yourself? She has a point. She has a point. That's a fair point. Are you talking about yourself at those times when you're under suspicion? Being the pain of being falsely accused is something you really should experience. Alright. I'm fine with never experiencing it ever. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at the evidence. Okay, so the documents related to smuggling. One of the 3 ornamental knives. Stolen 7 years ago. It's also a knife. Single stab wound. Okay. Stole this from the embassy. It's also a knife. Agent Shina suspects Kei of murder simply because Kei is the Yatagarasu, but if I can prove that Yatagarasu goal is not related to the murder, then I may be able to begin reasoning with her. Okay. I wonder if I was supposed to...
Objection!
Okay. I'm objecting with the document. And then Mr. Edgeworth Miles just did the double head shake. Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you, but there's a flaw in your logic. Even if you claim that she is the killer and the Yatagarasu, I'm certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Koshin's body. Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. And by the simple fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked, it's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all. Then perhaps she didn't know that Mr. Koshin had the key on him. Oh, you're sweating a lot, Sheena! If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can think of no reason for her to kill him if she had not known that fact. Need reason? All of this is simply our conjecturing after the fact? It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she didn't notice the safe second compartment before returning the key. The fact still remains that Mr. Koshin was stabbed to death.
Objection!
Wouldn't she just have used the key? Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes. Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her away behind bars. Okay. Okay. As much as I would like to get into it with Sheena, we're almost at the 3-hour mark, and I don't want to go over time today. So we're gonna save here, and we'll come back to this next week. Come back to this next week. Come back to this next week, where we continue our discussion with Sheena regarding whether or not Kay is the actual killer. Oh, okay. Look at this. The cover has changed. The cover has changed. All right. So, just in time for the end. Good game, Harry. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Yeah, it's at the 3-hour mark. So we're gonna end it here for tonight. But we got mixed up in a fire and a murder. I think this case will be quite interesting. We're going to prove as much as we can that Sheena is wrong and falsely accusing Kay in our next stream. But that is it for tonight. That is it for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate you all. Have a great day or a great night wherever you are. Stay chill, stay safe, stay cool. And I will see you guys in my next stream. I will be off on Saturday, but we will be back on Sunday at 7 p.m. PDT for more Persona 3 Reload. Good night. Good night. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.